Ta-da! You should get a notification now. No. There's one person watching me, and I think it's me. Oh, 3 people watching me, and I don't think they're all me. You have to do what I say, computer. Hey, Killdeer. Who else was that? But then I clicked the button and everything went away. It's okay. Yeah, don't panic. It'll be fine. Maybe. Eventually. Boy. There. Now I have a thing up there so y'all can't see me like looking through my bifocals at the thing. So, yeah, just calm down. It'll be okay. If I can get the pop-up chat to come out, then I will be able to follow along more on time rather than be behind everybody by 15 seconds. Maybe. Y'all are almost here. Everybody hold on. Everybody hold on. You've only wasted like 2 minutes of your life. Well, 3, however many it's been. I have got to clean up the hard drive on this puppy again already, I guess. Here we go. Almost. Pop out chat. Click. Put it over here. Close YouTube. There. We got. I'll go off of what I got here right now. We got Wayne G-Man. Kill Deer Survival. C103. Aiden Brian Shue, long time no see. Jeffrey Holmes, what's up? And Walter Davis. Jeffrey Holmes. I can make me show up. Yeah, I have my picture. I took that picture myself. That's a picture of a pool at a slot canyon right before it goes to a secondary waterfall. There's a waterfall that feeds this little pool, and then you're looking at where the water starts falling over rocks and then goes down into another pool. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was not a very easy picture to get. So anyway, who all sick with the virus? Not like just sick in the head. You're here, so you already fall into the other category. Dun. I did something to my camera. It's all like zoomed in on my face. Again. Just like sit back. Got my banner up. Is my camera reversed? My camera is reversed again. This is my left hand. So that's right to y'all, right? I don't know. This is the flag. This is my camo, whatever thing. You can read my flag. Oh. All right. All I can see right now are my ball. Big white ball. That's on crooked. Or my hat's on crooked or my head is. Hey, bitty boo. I think it's day 9 of the like stay at home thing, right? Is it? Do I? It's only been 3. Oh my gosh. We escaped. We thought we would go to a secluded spot where nobody else was going to show up and spend a little quality time catching some sun and some fish, and the entire town showed up there. It was not a successful quarantine day. Everybody did keep their distance. So. All right. No, my hat's now backwards. The orange thing goes in the front. But my head is crooked, so if I put the orange Doom Flicky in the front where it goes, then the straps aren't in the right place on my head. So, there you go. I know the little chin strap thing is important, keeping your hat on in the wind, but most times I cut them off. And then I wind up chasing my hat. But hey, Sasquatch. So we only talk about. I had some things I was thinking about talking about, but they would be. Everybody's already talked about all this junk, talked it to death. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to keep harping on the same thing. So I'm really hopeful that they don't. Half of me wants them to kind of keep everything shut down for a couple more weeks, and the other half of me wants it to open it up and just let it run its course. Because how do we put this? I don't think we're going to defeat the virus. I don't think we're going to eradicate it from the face of the earth. I don't think that's going to happen. somebody was telling me that China has a what's called vaccine for it already. Has anybody else heard that China has a vaccine? Vaccines don't work like people think. For stuff like polio and stuff like that, they work because you have a particular kind of infection that you defeat, and then it can't come back. But then you have things like viruses, which kind of make their living. A successful virus is a virus that can mutate at the drop of a hat. So, if it's not the kind of virus that can mutate, then it's not going to work out too good. Hello, Jack Milf. Solid German name there. It's cough medicine. It's not Jägermeister. Which probably tastes better than Jägermeister. Well, it mutated to make the jump. But so do they or do they not have a vaccine for a virus? If they developed a vaccine to create an immunity to the virus this quickly, because it's a novel coronavirus, it's a new strand, before now not capable of making the jump from human to, or from animal to human. So it should have taken a year or better to come up with a vaccine. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how they figured out it was a thing. They had to have people getting sick and dying of pneumonia for quite a while before they figured out that it was the Wuhan virus, the COVID-19. And media is pissing me off. And there's so many new cases of the COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus, you freaking twits. I don't know. The coronavirus is a type of virus. There's like a whole butt ton of coronaviruses out there. COVID-19 is the virus which is causing the Wuhan flu. They haven't named the condition or the disease or whatever. The virus that is causing the problem is COVID-19. That's the name of the virus, not the name of the disease. Put down the lapel mic and stop talking. Anyway, gardening. I need a shear pin for my tiller again because I let the wife use it and she was like breaking asphalt with it. So I have to replace the shear pin for the tiller and I don't have one, but we're under quarantine. So gonna have to break our own quarantine and sneak off to town. Well, not to town. We'll go to the edge of town. I've got to go barely inside the city limits. I mean, like barely, like 100 feet, and go to Tractor Supply and get me some. Yes, Jeffrey, COVID-19 is a form of coronavirus. It's not the disease caused by coronavirus. Coronavirus, there's not just one coronavirus. Then I used a 28 penny nail, which is about the right size, but it's real soft, and you hit a golf ball and it goes again. The pins that are in there are grade 3 5/16 bolts. I've got to find a time to do them because the last few I did, nobody showed up. I started checking all the other channels that want to talk about cool stuff, like let's get together and have a war and kill our brothers and sisters in the street over freaking politics, and stop eating bacon or you're going to go to hell, all that shit. Everybody goes over there and nobody comes. They want to come into the live stream when I'm shutting it down, or they want to come into the after chat, but they don't want to come into the Bible study. So I've got to find a new time. I'm not going to compete. I can't compete with the people in the same community that have 60, 70, 80,000 subscribers that go live. I just can't do it. What are you looking at?
Your camouflage map.
Pretty cool, huh? I actually bought that. See over here how California looks funny? That's not actually a real camel. That's just bird shit. I'm just joking. I made that up. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Anyway, I want to do the Bible studies, but I mean, I don't know when. I don't do them on Wes S. I do them on Wes S, the real one. It's my alternate channel, or one of my alternate channels. Now I post the links in my that's Ferocious Curie, aka Sweet Pea, community section. And then I hang out and I wait for 10 minutes and I get 3, 4, 5 people in there. Which the 3 or 4 or 5 people, if I changed the times, which was difficult for Killdeer to actually make it. So I needed to come up with a better time anyway. Which I guess I could switch them to Wednesday night, because if you're here in this chat with me, you've obviously skipped. Well, no, it's 9. So I guess you might have gone to Wednesday night Bible study at the church. None of y'all went, don't lie. But there's, I don't know how many people are actually live across from me right now. It's a very small community. So I'll need y'all to pray for me, though. I need some help getting the footage together to do a complete video. I am working. I've got excellent footage of nothing. Because when you're doing a video trying to teach somebody how to do something, and you get all the way to the end, and then you run out of battery, you run out of memory, whatever, the wind kicks up, whatever. I got I got 9 days, and because of doing stuff and actually trying to get stuff accomplished while I was there. There will, if y'all are lucky, y'all will get one video out of that 9 days. There was a lot of video to shoot if I'd have hung out with the other people, but what they were doing and what I was there to do were two totally different things. They had a project, which was a big project. They needed the people. When I got done with my project, which took a lot of walking and a lot of, I did inventory of what was available. I never did get, the other end of my deal was I was planning on taking all of the tents out of the barrels, checking to see how many of them were damaged, to see how many I was going to have to replace. Never got around to doing that. That was going to be my next trip down, which we're not going to get to do now. I was actually going to spend this week, clear this up. I intended to, instead of 9 days, I intended to spend 12 or 14 days. And then come back and then go back for another 6 or 8 days. I can't go back. They closed the thing down. I only cut my trip there short a few days because, well, for starters, all the stuff we were getting from the deal, they had a group of people coming in from a state that had, went from no cases to 100 and something cases. And the first city to lock themselves down, the way I understand it, was the city where several of these people were coming from. So I was just like, nail pass. So I loaded my stuff. Well, I drove off. That was when I hadn't been able to keep track because I was, out of pocket for 7 days, 7 or 8, 9 days, whatever. Because they asked that you don't use the internet for BS. So I used it for talking to my family and friends, and that was it. Post a few pictures to Instagram, check my comments. That was it. I hadn't watched a YouTube video, didn't check the news, didn't check the weather, nothing while I was down there. Because real people, if a place or a person or whatever asks you, hey, can you do this when you're using my stuff? You listen. You don't just go, it'll be all right. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. So, hey, Lance's mom. Rachel. Hey, Lance. How's it going? Hey, Lance. Hey, Lance. Stop chewing the carpet, dude. It's not cool. I'm getting much better. Rumi is recovering from a heart attack and getting much better. Oh, I'm missing stuff in the side chat. What do we got over here? All right. That was what the whole plan was. Hey, Lance, you should get your mom to give you a brownie. She's got candy in her purse. Lance, remember, your mom always has the good stuff in her purse. And she's really okay with you getting in there. I'm just saying. The stuff that Bernie stuck in there. Okay. I'm sorry if you people are union. Yeah. Here's the deal. Dude, you're already in a union. You're paying somebody to tell you whether or not you can work. you're getting paid too damn much anyway. All right. So if the union bosses have threw enough money at Bernie Sanders, the socialist, that he is willing to hold up a bill that's designed to save the entire country from going bankrupt so that he can get you higher wages for staying at home than you get while you're at work so you can continue to pay your union dues. I think he might be owned. And I thought that the union was American. That's a commie thing to do. That's worried about you and not the country. I mean, which one is it? All these people screaming about la 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 la. My wife had gotten a part-time job. She's laid off too. She wanted to. There's calm down. But she's not even making money. My daughter got sent home. And she's not getting to be in school where she actually saw people that gave her tips for cutting the hair. She's completely without income now. She's not going to get to draw an unemployment check for 80% of what you were making while you were working. Why the hell should you get 120? And why should the rest of the country be held hostage for your 40% pay cut increase? Y'all need to get some new people elected in to run your unions. They're ripping you off. Hey, Bertie Carpenter. How goes it? Hey, I keep meaning to call him and ask him, but whenever he's at home, I can't call him. And when he's at work, I'm not going to mess with him. But does Zach get his truck running? The black one? Did he get that back on the road? I'm not going to turn the camera off. People freak out when I turn the camera off. So I'll just destroy y'all's whatever with me smoking in front of the camera. And see, we had just got started. We were going to start doing practice drills with shooting and actually getting used to shooting our weapons other than at a piece of paper in a fixed location. And all this come up, and there ain't no freaking handgun ammunition in this town. Dude, if you didn't have enough ammunition before going out and buying at the store now is stupid. What I need to do is go get the dies and stuff for reloading the 9 and the 40. Now, honestly, the 357, which I may have the 357. I don't know. But it went well for a while, and then it didn't. Had what's the word for it? And it's no excuse. It's not. It doesn't justify going back to smoking. It just lets everybody know that I'm human and weak. There's some things going on with the missus that scare the hell out of me. And there's, kids having trouble and just, the alone time was tearing me a new one. Man, I don't know, man. The Sasquatch said that ballroom's awful close to that fertilizer plant. Just saying. Found this pretty little town. We were thinking about trying to move a little further south just because, there's less people down there. But then I found a fertilizer plant, not where they sell it, where they actually make it. And no. Yeah. She's got 3 more years. She's got to work in the state of Texas. Then, now we are looking to buy before we leave. We want to actually be paid into the place when we get there. Chipper's actually being a pretty big help with that. I actually found one that I would have called and talked to the people about, but I mean, no sooner I had found it and was, I put it on my whatever list on the thing and went back to it because, you talk to your wife about stuff and it was gone. It had been on the listings for almost a year. I find it, I look at it, and it's flipping gone. They had been asking 20, and they dropped it to 15, and then they dropped it to 14, and at 14 it went. And it was going to go to me for 14. They bought it for 1,100, and they were trying to sell it for 20,000. Obi's bought. I don't know. You mean the basement or the den? It was a single wide trailer on either 15 or 20 acres with with a small outbuilding, a barn in need of repair, electric water well and septic with a gravel road running off of a paved farm to market road for it went for $14,000. There's no work. You're looking at an hour to an hour and 30-minute commute one way to a probably minimum wage job. So hey Robert and Cindy, depending on which one's there. If we can get into something for that, something that's going to take a lot of work. I mean, it's not like I couldn't take a week and go up there and fix the plumbing, come home, and go back up the next month, fix whatever. That one, the plan was I was going to fix the barn. We were going to live in it. And the trailer house, people could shoot holes in it trying to get to us when we're going to be there. We're going to be in the barn. That's a long commute. And people gripe about a 30-minute one-way drive here to work. And I'm thinking, okay, if you live 10 miles from your work in Dallas, it's going to take you 30 or 45 minutes to get there. What's the difference? When I was working in town it took me 11 minutes to get there. You know, I had to be there at 8. As long as I pulled away from the house at 7:45, I was there early. The end. It took longer to warm up the computer and clock in than anything else, which annoyed me a lot. Oh, they could have made my life a lot easier if they'd have just had me my own computer. But anyway. Oh. Maybe you need to click the bell and or unclick the bell and click the bell back or something and click all there, Michael. I mean, what else you want to talk about? We went fishing. We caught fish. We could have caught all the flipping carp we wanted. Literally, we could have caught all the carp we wanted. Actually, I had one carp break my line. Ooh, that was quite upsetting. Where there were rocks anyway. He got down and he swam back and forth enough times where he got a weak spot in the line and broke it. But apparently when all them rains come through a while back, it flooded a bunch of the lakes that were just nearly dry. And they opened the gates or whatever and let them run over. And a lot of the carp got washed out the spillway, the carp eggs and this stuff and everything else. And now all the carp are like this, are trying to swim back upstream. They've eaten everything. And if the people that live around that area don't start taking the carp and doing something with them, that's going to be the only thing that's in the water. You've got the fish. If one species takes over the lake, you have to fish that species. I'm not saying you should take the carp and bank them. That's not what I'm saying, because that is uncool. I'm saying you can eat carp, for crying out loud. If you'll go to a restaurant and eat tilapia, you won't eat carp. There's no hope for you. Yeah, the second job is stop. Did you slow down yet, Robert? Cindy Moore? Yeah, I figured. There were like 4 or 5 guys that showed up at the river because they couldn't go to work. So, and anybody that supports any of the guys that are trying to hold up this stimulus package because they're trying to put in federal mandates requiring tax abatements for more solar and wind. They're trying to make it federal law or whatever. I mean, and they're trying to tie it into the stimulus package. No. For crying out loud, the oil and gas, if you're not going to cut the oil and gas industry a tax break, then they don't get it either. The solar and wind energy industry is strictly dependent on oil, and gas. If they turn off the spigot tomorrow, the windmills will stop going up. You cannot manufacture solar panels without petroleum products. You cannot manufacture windmills without, wait for it, petroleum products. And we need to shut down the new way forward crap too. Just saying. That's bad. A wind generator, a 12 volt or 24 volt wind generator for your home lighting needs is an excellent idea. Commercialized wind energy, we are not there yet. They have no market for the recycled windmill blades. They've got signs up on those stack lots with the windmill blades in them saying, these are being prepared for recycling. Recycling into what?
Now they're trying to make soundproof barriers with them.
Soundproof barriers with them?
Like putting them up by the highway to block out the sound from all the houses that are going up next to the highway.
Oh, yay. So that gives them another place to stack the windmill blades. But it's something, I guess. You people with your clean energy, y'all are so full of crap. Y'all have no idea what you're doing to my state. I mean, y'all are scarring it up and making it absolutely hideous. I watch the grease just drip out of these things and get caught by the blades and slung out across the landscape. Yeah, recycling into the landfill, most of them. Big business is making a killing. Big foreign business. Check, see who's paying for the windmills to come up. They're not American companies that own those. They have offices in the U.S. That's about it. Biggest field we have north of us is owned by Japan. And the expensive parts aren't made here. So, anyway. The small ones, you can build your own small one. It's not going to be great. The biggest problem with building your own wind generator is the wind turbine, the actual blade. You can make one with a 55-gallon drum. They're not cheap, and you need to build it right the first time so that the only thing you replace is the generator. You can get a 100-amp alternator. Bye, Rachel. Bye, Lance. Have a good night, Lance. Don't forget your brownies. Oh. Just take one off the shelf next time you're at your store, Lance. It's okay. All right, Sasquatch. We'll see you later. Anyway, you can build one out of a plastic drum. That costs you like $45. And you can, the shaft is pretty expensive that you have to put in there, unless you can get one at the scrapyard. You've got to have a way to increase the RPMs from the wind turbine to the alternator, because it has to crank at least, I think that the 100 amp alternator's got to crank at least a 750 to 800 RPMs to maintain a discharge of 12.5 volts. If you can get it to 1200 to 1500 RPMs, it will maintain a discharge of 14 volts, which will charge way more than one battery. 12 and a half will maintain a battery. It will charge the battery. But, there's some playing around. And I'm not going to go out there and build a wind generator and put a video up for y'all. Those are out there all over the place. The guys have got way better shops and way cooler equipment and stuff. The thing is, we need to quit depending on the big companies for everything we have. Does nobody watched Aeon Flux? Does nobody watch the Hunger Games? Has nobody watched, 1984? Yeah. The ones that are commercially available are, the friend of mine's got one, and it took him, what did he say? It paid itself off in 8.5 years. And then it cratered in 10. Yeah, I told him about. So yeah. I mean, he got it fixed, but now because of the stuff he had to do to fix it, he he's back in debt for it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty badass little turbine. I think it's a 220. I think it may do 220 volts or something. I was just noticing it. I was talking to him about it. He's like, hey, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He's still debating on whether or not it's worth getting another one. He's got room. He could put up 3 or 4. But he says it's never made enough to reverse spin the, meter on his house. It does make enough to where he doesn't have to pull. I think his, when the wind's up, the only thing he pulls off the grid is his air conditioning. The windmill will run his refrigerators and lighting and stuff like that. So, but again, it's a wind generator thing. It's got to charge batteries. And it's not just a generator that everybody's like, oh, you can get a generator for, $2,000. And then you're going to need $5,000 or $6,000 worth of batteries. Because we're not there yet. We're not there to where you can just run the power in and what you don't use goes on down the line and you get paid back for it. We're not there yet. Well, yeah, Jay Leno can afford to spend $120,000 on a freaking VW bus too. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. But 4 deep cycle lead acid batteries, a barrel, couple of bearings, a shaft, an alternator, and an inverter. Gonna keep your beer cold. Yeah, my wife's the on-call electrician at her office. That's just weird.
Well, the ballast went out over the counter. I gotta come up there and change it out.
You know, if you hadn't started doing that, they would have started calling somebody. You know that, right?
Who they gonna call to come do it right now? Ain't nobody coming in.
I'd go do it, but I'm gonna charge y'all $200 because I'm not a communist. I believe in free trade. All that. I wouldn't charge them $200 for ballast. That old post office, I ain't doing no wiring in that thing ever again. They have one purple wire that's not attached to a breaker. You can kill every breaker, including the main breaker. Like kill all the power to the building. And there's one purple wire that stays hot. Hey, David, I mean, why would you do that? How do you do that? Now, solar, again, I agree with solar as an alternate power source. You're not going to run your AC and this and that, not unless unless your freaking house is covered in solar. And but having some panels to charge some batteries so that you can keep a small refrigerator going, so you can keep some low intensity lighting, so you can charge your phone, so you can charge your laptop, whatever. Yeah, they're great for that. You can trickle charge your cordless equipment. If you've got enough batteries, you can run an inverter all day long and run power tools if you got a good inverter. Right. I mean, yeah. That's, I was looking at that river yesterday and good God, I don't know why they don't have a water wheel there. They've just got the water running over doing nothing, doing no work. And that's just silly. Yeah, but that's what people don't get. I mean, it's not cheap to be completely self-sufficient. And then those batteries are consumable. A wind turbine's consumable. The solar panels have a pretty decent shelf life, I guess you put it. But Yeah, hailstorms, sandstorms, snowstorms. Um, Poppin' Johnny, pump jack goes up and down, feeds itself because it's running off the map gas. Makes 2 barrels of oil a day. 2 barrels of oil a day. You've got enough gasoline and diesel to drive all over the country and run a generator. If your truck's running, you don't even have to run the Poppin' Johnny all the time. You can, when you don't need no oil, you just turn the Poppin' Johnny off. Then the well just sits there and fills up with oil. That's the way it works. You are in, I don't know, y'all may not get the sand in town, but I'm pretty sure y'all get sandstorms in California. Y'all have to get sandstorms. We get regular, what do they call them things in the desert? Heebie-jabbies or whatever. Hobobs or hoobobs or heebie-debee-bobs or whatever. We just call them sandstorms when I was a kid. Aaron, he hadn't popped in here yet on my chat. Anyway, hello, early Aaron person. Oh, something. Anyway, yeah. Solar's a good thing on a small scale for emergency purposes or off-grid purposes. If you're going to go off-grid, you need something. You need something. Little diesel generator. People are, oh, I'm gonna give me a gas generator. Don't get a diesel generator. Get a diesel generator. Yeah. The sandstorms really don't get that bad down there around the sand dunes, come to think of it. Because they got all that brush on them all the time. We get the sandstorms bad up here because everybody plows the fields and they don't plant any winter crops. We didn't get them this year, though, but if you looked around lately, I ain't never seen so much wheat. Oh, Rachel's back? Oh, okay. Welcome back, Lance. Hey, Lance, your mom has candy hidden in the toilet paper rolls. Not really, buddy. Don't do that. I think your dad has candy in the bottom of his toolbox, so you should go through that. Anyway, Yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, everybody's like, oh, we need to hurry up and get the country back open. Trump says, well, we'll see if we can get it open by Easter. Oh, he's going to open it too early. Oh, what it is, they need to quit feeding them people estrogen. Think they like all the coffee shops in Washington, D.C. have estrogen dispensers or something. The damage to the infrastructure alone in our part of the world is not worth the windmills. They have destroyed, I mean, in 6 months, from the entire length of the state of Texas, okay, there is a U.S. highway that is destroyed. That's one direction. Now then, going the other direction, there is another state highway that is in actual worse shape from the wind energy. They have started using another state highway, which takes longer to get there to where they're putting them in. And now it is tearing up. The highways were not built to carry oversized loads every day, all day. Yet the wind energy people, the people doing the work, putting them up, making the electricity, doing all, they get tax abatements. They do not have to pay any special road tax. They have to pay their little permits. And that's it. They're not paying their fair share for the damage they're doing to the infrastructure. Quite literally trying to figure out a different way to get to town so I can avoid the damage. Hey, honey. She can't hear me. Let's go try it.
I don't know where she went.
Hey, Kirsten,
What?
would you go get me a cup of coffee?
Fudge, no. You see where I am? You see what
You're
I'm
in
doing?
the dark. How am I supposed to tell where you're at? Oh, she may have
I
gone.
just randomly laying on the floor or what?
Yeah.
Stick my finger in there for sugar.
No, I need a teaspoon of sugar in there, please.
Nope.
Come on. You know you want to be nice. The landowners are not going to let them shut down those windmills. The guys don't farm here anymore. That's why they're just leasing their land out to people who want to grow hay. They're not trying to raise cows. They got a few head, but they're not serious about it anymore. Which is silly because they could actually get real aggressive about raising beef, but that would drive the market down. All these guys that put all this hay in, they're going to be pissed when it comes time to try to sell it. There's going to be too much hay.
I stuck my finger in it.
Thank you.
Cool.
They're gonna be really ticked off whenever they try to sell all this hay, and be like, we'll give you $20 a bale, and they've got $35 worth of diesel in it.
What's the other?
Talking to these people. I'm
That's cool.
talking to Robert and Walter and Corsair and Aaron and David and Adenir and Aaron. I don't know these people.
Hi, peoples. I don't look so red on your camera.
I don't know if I look red or not. It does look red. Oh, let me see. Oh, no. It's bleached. It's got us bleached out. I took my long sleeve shirt off yesterday. Set it down. Somebody may and may not have stole it.
But there's not supposed to be color in this part of my tattoo. But there's color.
You have to.
Yeah, I can't really see it. Too short. In real life, it's red. Not like this color. Yeah, I can't bend that way. Anyways, I'm like a...
How are your legs doing? Your legs are the ones that got blistered.
I mean, they were fine until you asked me to get up and get you a cup of coffee. Because when I stand up, it stretches the skin, and it reminded me I needed.
Well, I'm not using my arms. When I move my arms, it hurts.
My foot is really super red.
Oh, you didn't. That's right. You kept walking around with no shoes on.
Yeah, I kept walking in the water.
My legs are fine because I'm white and I left my britches on.
I usually don't sunburn that bad, but I also haven't been out in the sun in like forever. So, yeah.
Why would you build on a native site? Oh, they put windmills on a. That would be. I guess because it was green energy, supposedly it was okay. I mean, digging the giant hole and putting, I don't know, 12 truckloads of cement down in the ground or whatever is not really damaging the earth at all. Perfectly natural. Trenching miles and miles and miles so they can bury underground cable to run the stuff, it's fine. Hey, you will. I think the lockdown's going to get tighter, honestly. I don't think they're going to slack up. I think it's going to get worse. News coming out of Italy and Spain is telling us that they tried to do, because they've got, what the people want is what the people get. So the people said, well, we don't need all that. So they didn't lock it down real tight. And now the death toll in Spain and Italy both has surpassed the death toll in China. And the people dying in Spain and Italy aren't old folks. Just for the record. The age range was 20s to 50s. That's the numbers I found. I don't believe in genetically engineered diseases. So I'm not going to say it's weird how once it got out of where it started, people started dying worse. Ordinarily, I don't buy into stuff. I mean, I would be right with everybody else going, hey, it's a government conspiracy. when the government is, I mean, you don't pass up an opportunity. I don't think this is one of those false flag deals, man. This is going to cost too many rich people too much money. So, not the ultra rich or the uber rich, but it's going to cost a lot of people that donate a lot of money to a lot of campaigns. A lot of money. So it doesn't make any sense for this not to really be happening.
Got any more candy?
I don't have any candy.
I don't mind.
I have some cheese puffs.
No, I want something sweet, but I already ate Pop Tarts and no orange.
You need water. No, seriously, whenever you have a sweet tooth, your body's actually craving water.
That's why I want a glass of.
Guzzle that and get another one.
This isn't
We
sugar.
wouldn't be dehydrated if somebody hadn't left the water in the kitchen when we went fishing. Just saying.
Well, we got waters.
I know, but we still didn't drink enough. What'd you drink? How many bottles of water did you drink yesterday?
By the time we got home, I had drank
Not by the time we got home, while we were there.
2.
The stuff we drank on the way home to rehydrate does not count. I killed 3 on the way home. I
I
couldn't
drank
stop
2
drinking.
while we were at the lake.
Yeah.
River thing.
I drank 2 at the lake, and I was like, man, why am I so thirsty? So I killed one when we got to the truck. Then mixed another one up, drank it, and then have one in the car or in the truck on the way home and drank it. And then I got home and I drank more water. And now you're wondering why you're looking for candy. There's a sucker in my floorboard of the truck.
Do I look like I want to put shoes on and go outside?
You asked if I had candy. My grandkid would do it.
If I was going to go outside, I would just go get in my car and go buy candy.
There's some ketchup right there. Yeah.
That's not even ketchup. That's honey.
Well, there
I
you go.
could eat honey, but
There you go. See,
I don't have no biscuits.
I'm trying to help you, and you don't even want my help. I don't even know why you come in here if you're not going to take my
Is
help.
there actual gum in here? Look, I found gum.
That is so not yours.
It says peach gum.
It's fruity-licious something.
It's peach. I'm telling you, I can smell it. There's a whole bunch of peaches on the thingy.
If you didn't want it, why'd you get it?
It tastes peachy. Real peaches are delicious. Fake flavored peachy stuff is not.
I wish you'd convince your mom that real peaches taste delicious.
Real peaches are super yummy, just not necessarily flavored peach stuff. Peach rings are okay, but they're not like this kind of peach flavor.
Sorry. Don't steal candy from my grandkids. My little blonde-headed granddaughter, her favorite flavor is peach. There you go. And the other one doesn't have a favorite. She does not like green apple. But she doesn't complain. She just says, no, pop. But she tastes it first. Now, she won't let you take it away until you replace it with one of a more palatable flavor. But yeah, we had water. We just had to go over there and get it. But no, the carp were biting like crazy. We missed more than we reeled in. And was actually spent more time trying to fish around the carp than anything else. But the carp are starving. And carp are filter feeders. They'll eat all the food that the little critters in the water live off of. And then there won't be enough stuff for like the perch and everything else. You know, the carp will outcompete the shad for the the flotsam food. I mean, carp will look for other stuff too, but carp can filter feed. So the water was super clear, super green, and it's not usually. I mean, it's pretty, but it's not that clean. I don't think this is a test run for anything. I'm not. My can't nobody get along well enough to orchestrate anything on a global scale. The end. They'll eat eggs, clams. They'll take bait, worms. They'll eat anything, but they don't have to. They can actually just pull in mud and sand and filter through it. So they're pulling in all the little tiny nymph egg, dragonfly eggs, mayfly eggs, all that stuff. And I mean, they if you get too many, a few of them don't hurt anything. Carp are actually good for an ecosystem, but when you have lakes dry up, carp and catfish are the last thing standing. But if the carp ate everything and the catfish had nothing to eat, then the catfish starved to death. Okay. And there you go. There's too many carp in the Concho River. The end. The way I understand it, David, they're trying, and small business loans. That's one thing that caught I mean, I don't think they need to loan small businesses money to get through this. They need to do the same thing they're doing with the big businesses and just give them the money. Okay, we've told you to close down for a month. Your ticket sales should have been this much. Your overhead should have been this much. Your landlord is going to be forced to give you a waiver for blah, blah, blah. Here's what you're going to get from the government because we made you close down. Then the landlord, the government goes, okay, we'll cover the rest. They do it for illegal immigrants and their grandchildren and children all the time. So why not do it for small businesses that employ 15 or 20 people? Even the ones to like Boeing and stuff, they're going to loan Boeing money and Boeing's going to pay the government back. What they does is the government just pumping the money into a financial organization, which is going to loan the money to Boeing. Giving somebody a loan to get them through a financial crisis is, well, that's the oldest trick in the book. It's how banks wind up with everything. You want to hear a story? I'll tell you a story. Pure fantasy, never really happened story about the Wild Wild West. Okay. There was a family, burly young men, strong, smart, had some money sense, had nearly nothing to their name. They went off on an adventure. They were gone for a month or two. They came back and they had found their fortune. Rather than do the same as everybody else was doing, they stepped into a place that was having trouble making ends meet. They opened a bank. And they started loaning their friends money to get them through the hard times they were experiencing. All they had to do was sign a little thing called a mortgage, or put, this 160 acres up or this 40 acres up as collateral. We can't just give you the money, Bubba. You've got to put some collateral up. But it'll be better next year. It'll be better next year. And it wasn't. That family, that bunch of burly young men and their descendants own nearly everything for 3 counties. And they hate banks. Because they closed the bank. After it had done its job. It went to ranching and farming. And now they hate banks. But they're, most of them, big enough now, they farm and ranch for government subsidies. So, whatever. I can't count those many zeros. That's 60 million. China is controlled by a World Bank. China's money is tied up in the world economy. And it's old as the hills. Like I said, it's purely fictitious, and I mentioned no names. Up until a year ago, I could take you to the building. Just saying. There was a time when you could just go to the other side of the state or to the next state over and walk into a place with a gun and take all the money you needed. Drive off. And if you do it successfully, real fast, and don't get caught, and nobody knows your name, then you just go somewhere and you open a bank. Because you got money to loan. It kills me every time. Man, big money financial conspiracies and all that stuff. I mean, what are we going to do about it? What do we need to do to get through this situation? We can sit here and blame it on this person or that person or whatever. Doesn't matter whether it's a constitutional republic, socialist, democratic, whatever. It doesn't matter what kind of country you live in. There will always be the people that own stuff and the people that don't. The people that have a lot of money need for other people to make money, to increase the worth of something, so that they continue to make money off of investing in the people who are less fortunate than they are. It's the way it works. I believe that after you buy a piece of property, you should own that piece of property. Okay? I don't particularly like the idea of property tax. I understand the need for it. I don't think that hospitals should receive tax dollars, ever. I don't care if it's a county hospital or not. If that hospital cannot stand alone, it doesn't have any business being there. You need a medical emergency care clinic and a good ambulance set up. That's all you need. The end. This is me personally. Somebody has to pay the salaries of the guys that dedicate themselves to running the country, which don't need to be the same guys year after year after year after year after year. And I don't think you should be allowed to go to college to learn how to be a politician. They should not offer political sciences at colleges. No. I think college professors should be hired from mainstream America. They should not be allowed to be strictly academic. But, back on topic. I think the only way to pay for everything fairly is a national sales tax. And the way that works fairly is there's no exemptions. If China buys scrap metal from a United States company to go over there and recycle into whatever, they pay sales tax on the purchase. That sales tax goes straight to replacing income tax and property tax. If Boeing buys $2 billion worth of rivets to fix their airplanes, Boeing pays sales tax. If Joe Smo, or what's that dude off the people off Shark Tank, if they buy stocks, they pay sales tax on those stocks. Whatever stocks they purchase, boom, there's a sales tax added to it, and that has to come out of their account, boom, straight to paid. You know, they pay sales tax on everything. If you buy a roll of toilet paper or a can of green beans, you pay sales tax on it. If you buy a new car or a used car, you pay sales tax on it. If the windmills buy the stuff to make new blades for their wind generators, they pay sales tax on it. Because what that means is that the people that are making the most money, who are benefiting the most from the economy, are actually going to pay their fair share. And it doesn't have to be this astronomical number. But if you put a sales tax on everything with no exemptions, farmer buys diesel, he pays the same sales tax on that diesel that we do. It won't be the road tax on there anymore. It'll be a sales tax. Just because you're a farmer doesn't mean you shouldn't pay sales tax. I'm sorry. You're in the country with the rest of us. The end. So they should just stop doing anything and let the virus run its course. And they actually, when they started, they didn't put out any orders. They just said, hey, we really need to do this. David, they just said, hey, this is what we need to do if we want to shut this down. This is a suggestion. This is okay, fine. We'll strongly suggest, because people are dying. We'll strongly suggest. The reason China's people stopped dying is because China said, oh, no, this is bad. We're going to shut it down now. And no, people aren't dying in China as bad. Italy, they didn't want to be all like, no, we're going to shut this down. Because all they're telling you be like, dude, can't make me do what I don't want to do. Guess not. Spain, you're not going to tell us what to do. I guess not. Oregon, you're not going to tell us what to do. Guess not. New York City, you can't tell me I can't do that. I guess not. It sucks. And I'm kind of on the side of they should just let it run its course. But damn, that's a lot of kids crying at their grandparents' graves, man. That's a lot of damn, that's a lot of men and women living to see their child buried. I can deal with staying my happy ass out of Walmart and not going to the pizza parlor and having the buffet. I can deal with all that, so that for my part of it, I'm not causing that other person to stand by that little box or to see a person that has been in their life since the day they learned to breathe have dirt shoveled over them. I can deal with it because I'm American. And it's, yeah. If my liberties cause harm or want to someone else, I am abusing my liberties, not exercising my liberties. The left abuses their liberties all the time. I will not be those people. The difference between a conservative and a leftist or a progressive is that I understand that with my rights and my liberties come responsibilities to prevent my liberties from crossing over into somebody else's life, to prevent the exercising, to prevent exercising my rights from causing an infringement on the rights of someone else. I understand these things because our Constitution is designed to protect the general welfare. That means everybody. What's best for as many people as possible. And that's true. I mean, death is part of it. I don't see why everybody's so upset. I mean, it sucks. But if them shutting the economy down or the country down for 21 days, let's say they make it 3 weeks, okay? They bump it up another week. They say, we almost got this. We just need one more week. Okay? They shut it down for 21 days. And instead of us losing 1 million people to this virus, we only lose 50,000. Success. Let's say that because somebody proves that what they're doing is unconstitutional. And they say, okay, we've got to lift all these bans. People, you do whatever you want to do. Open your stores back up, whatever. Oh, by the way, you're only going to get a little bit of this package that we just did. We'll kind of like pay you for the time you missed, but not for the time you were going to miss. You know, you don't have to take the loan if you don't want to, whatever. Have a pizza party, go ahead. It's your business. And then instead of losing 50,000 people nationwide, because everybody's like, all right, they lifted the thing. It's got to be okay now. It's got to be safe. All the asymptomatic people go out and start hanging out with all the other people and, you know, licking doorknobs and crap like that. Then it goes from, instead of 1 million people dying to 15, 20, 30 million people dying. I mean, how long is it going to take our economy to get over that? How long would it take our economy to get over 1 million people in this country dying from a virus? China shut down an entire province to prevent this thing from getting out and shutting down their economy for a long time. If they hadn't caught it and it spread nationwide and they'd have lost 15, 20 million people to this virus, they'd have been back to a third world country overnight. That's the reason they were beating people with sticks and dragging them out of their workplaces and putting them inside of locked hospital rooms with bars on them, because they weren't taking any chances. Our government hasn't threatened to do that. Our government isn't stupid enough to try to do that. Actually, according to the Constitution, we gave our government the authority in an emergency to give us orders for our own protection. Now, they can't use those orders to pass legislation on a permanent deal like, okay, we're going to outlaw all the guns because it's the new smokeless powder that's causing the mutations in the viruses or whatever. Not going to happen. Just when this is all over and the smoke clears, let's get a lawyer. Let's sue them. There'll be more of us left around to sue them then. I'm not gonna. I've got better things to spend my energy on than attacking the government. Attacking the government doesn't do any good. You don't like the government, find somebody to run to replace whoever it is in government you don't like. Grab them, take them to the pizza parlor after all this clears up and say, hey man, I'll give you a free pizza buffet every week for a year if you just put your name on the docket. Me and all these guys over here, just fill the building up with people that will stand behind this guy. We'll work together. We'll get you the money to pay for the signs, to put them out on the highway so people will vote for you. And we can replace Bernie with somebody else. We can replace Pelosi with somebody else. That's how you do that. That's how you fight the government. You change them. You find somebody, you, the citizen, find somebody that you want in there, you get them to run, and you vote for them. You don't go fishing during the election year. You don't go on family vacation. You don't watch Netflix. You don't watch YouTube. You go ahead and get you a Facebook account. Well, I guess you can watch YouTube so you can like talk in the chats and say, hey, you really need to vote for Detroit Prepping. You know, that's how you do that. Didn't we wind up with a case here or some crap? What's the closest? Oh, that one ain't no bigger than us. Anyway, yeah, it's popping up, and a lot of the people here aren't going and getting tested. Well, there are some. They're and they're going to get tested. Billy, you come in here every year to get tested for the flu, the pneumonia, and then this year it's the Wuhan thing. And I keep telling you to take your Benadryl and stay out of the rose bushes. You're allergic to flowers. Those people are getting tested all over the place, but what do you think? Yeah, what course? I mean, if this thing continues to spread, you don't want to be the guy outside or out at the roller rink looking at girls with wheels on their feet falling down and bouncing across the wooden floor, which odd enough, it's entertaining. You want to be the guy who sneaks off to a part of the river that nobody else goes to and then have everybody show up. You don't want to be that guy either. I guess you don't want to take advice from me. But if you do, you want to be the guy that has enough stuff. And if you see your neighbor loading his kids and stuff up into the van, I mean, you don't have to walk up and say, hey, neighbor Bob, where you going? I'm not trying to pry or anything. You need anything? Might be able to save you a trip. It's, well, yeah, we're out of cream style corn and toilet paper. Say, hey, man, take your kids out of the car. Don't risk going to the grocery store. I just happen to have a few cans of cream style corn. Here's your 4-pack of toilet paper. Give it a few more days. I really like them kids. What's wrong with that? I mean, don't throw them a freaking credit card reader and say, I'm going to need you to swipe your card right there. Just give them the toilet paper, man. Or whatever. Oh my God. He's like, man, I didn't get a chance to run by the ammo store after the last time we went to the range, and I've got to go down and see if I can find a couple of boxes of 9mm because, well, I've only got 40 rounds left for my sidearm. Give the guy a box of bullets so he doesn't have to go into town. Or, you know, if he wants to give you $20 for the box of bullets, I don't know, whatever a box of bullets goes for in your state, just do it. I mean, because you know you got like 10,000 rounds for your 9 in the back. Don't lie. Who's calling? Who's calling names?
Dad,
What?
are you still streaming?
What did I do now?
Your daughter's in here running her mouth.
Oh, because I flipped my hat up?
No, she just figures what she said out loud, the stream.
Yes, they heard her. What did she say? Don't repeat it.
I'm not gonna repeat it, but I was gonna.
You're grounded from life until you bring me a little orange.
Oops. All I did was accidentally out loud say what it looked like.
Well, yeah, that's an Olympian, all right. Would you bring me a little orange?
Yeah.
I didn't raise her by myself. A lot of that's her mom's fault. Just saying.
Definitely a
Is she talking bad about me?
Yes, she was just. Y'all should duke it out. Where did I get the camera though?
Look. When he first unfolds it, all you see is like that.
I'm a retired federal agent.
Dad,
What?
Mom said only me would see that. Did you see it?
Unfortunately.
See? Not only
Like I
me.
said, she's definitely her daddy's child.
Shut up, you prude. The I'm a federal agent. Did I ever work for the federal government other than welding up the bumpers for the Humvees that one time? That probably makes me a fed though, huh?
Hello, through local government and federal government.
Ooh, you're a spy. I so knew that. My wife's the federal agent plant type person. And I'm just her surprisingly good looking boy toy that she keeps around so nobody looks at her too close. Then I was buying some, what do they call them, freedom seeds at the Walmart. And they were like, I'm going to like say your driver's license. I'm like, I held it up and they're like, oh no, I need to swipe it. I said, no, you don't. I said, you need to see that I am over 21. And that's all. I think it's 21 or 18, something. You do not need to attach my cash purchase of ammunition to my driver's license. And since enough of us threw a fit that they don't ask for your driver's license anymore. They just they don't run it to that little machine. Yeah, trying to get Wayne all fired up about the contrails, the condensation trails, which are actually not condensation trails. They're talcum powder because the pilot's got a chapped ass. That was a really good orange, just for the record. Oh, I've been in here. Whoa, 2 hours of me talking about absolutely nothing of any importance at all. Social distancing. It's real easy. Somebody in BA Stream yesterday asked, how do you social distance yourself from your wife? It's easy. Just say something like, I saw your sister wearing that dress the other day and she looked way better. You don't have to worry about getting anywhere close to her for days. Just say something like, you're going to wear that whenever she's trying to get you to go somewhere. Boom. You do not have to worry about her spending any time with you at home or in public for several days. Here's another good one. You don't want to have to spend quality time with your wife. Just say something as simple as, are you going to fix your hair? Bam. There's all the alone time you want, buddy. Yeah, the death clouds from the sky. Who said that? I was reading it. Of course, sir. Yes, it will, Courtney. Well, maybe not on you. Don't make me try all that stuff because I could so crush you. Well, that's you. 'Cause, like, for whatever reason, somebody know that you wound up just like the rest of us. But anyway, um, this is pretty socially distanced. Uh, how's Maddie doing tonight, Courtney? I heard you were like throwing her around and trying to drop her on the concrete and stuff earlier. Or something like that. What was it about? Oh, you're trying to put her in a car seat. Walter, you say something like that in this part of the world, and the guy gets a completely different meaning out of it. He takes a step away from whoever he's standing by. Steve, you're standing next to my sister. I didn't know she was your sister, man. She doesn't look nothing like your ugly ass. Sorry. I've seen your backyard, Corsair. There's not that many oaks out there. You lie. Woo-hoo. I bought toilet paper a couple months ago. Let's rotate our stock. Is anybody here actually preppers? We have like the most organized rotation system in the world. Not really. Don't even go and don't go to that end of the house. I don't know. I don't watch TV, so I don't know. I'm gonna watch a little TV after I get out of here. Oh, it's like 10:40 at night. Well, there you know my time zone. Um, we ran into some confusion on our food goals. Well, on my part, because like the seasoning packets and stuff for like the rice and the beans and the black eyed peas, which we need more of, are she thinks they're cow peas. They have an expiration date that is like actually really short. I can't figure that out. How can salt and pepper and ground cumin and this, that, and everything else expire in a year? But because they're in little Mylar packages and stuff, how does a soup mix expire so fast? So the thing is, now we've got soup packages in there that have been in there for a while, and now that Sweet Pea's here, I'm going to make some soup and see if she gets sick, and we'll go from there. That way, you know, I won't have to suffer with being sick if they really do go bad, or if it's just a way for them to sell more spice packets. You can't get no meat. Well, I don't know. I hadn't been to the store in 4 days, so 3 or 4. So I wouldn't know what's available at the store right now or not. I went in and topped off the comfort foods, if you will. But you better not be getting into comfort foods again.
What?
You, Miss Pop-Tart Stealer. All right, Steve, thanks for stopping by. You know what? I may get a hold of you tomorrow. We might do this during the daytime or something. I'll tell you. I'm going to run the tiller for a little while in the morning, though. But I'm keeping my wife up. I need to get off of here. We can talk about stuff you could do to make it better on other people who are being forced to suffer through the same isolation and distancing from other human beings as you are. Yeah. That sounded dramatical enough. But I don't need him to last a year longer. I need him to last like 5 or 6 years. Because I want to put them in with the vacuum sealed other stuff and not have to worry about it for 5 or 6 years. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna get up in the morning and first I'm gonna till the garden area that used to be part of the chicken yard. As soon as I get freaking shear pin. And then I'll probably make lunch ish, but a video about me making lunch. And then I'm gonna hide from the sun because my arms are really burnt bad. Yeah, I had breakfast this morning. That's it. Maybe that's why I'm hungry. But anyway, seriously, thank y'all for coming and hanging out, blowing 2 hours of your day with me. I really was bored. The ladies have online school that they can do, so they're all in there being little schoolgirls and whispering back and forth and having a high old time. And I'm in here like, all these YouTube videos are old. I've watched everybody's stuff. I don't have anything to watch. So there's nobody talking about anything cool in the live streams. I'm gonna start doing live streams like everybody else. And then I did this and I did that and me. And if you'll go check out me doing this, me doing that, me doing this, and y'all are the best subscribers ever. I wish everybody was the bestest subscribers like y'all are to me. Y'all should share my stuff around because y'all are the bestest subscribers ever. And I love y'all. And amen and all that. But that wouldn't exactly be me. So I do love all you people. I appreciate y'all's interest in my life. I appreciate y'all's input in the chat. I really do. And yeah, several of y'all that support me doing this on a regular basis. Yeah, I have no idea how cool y'all are. So anyway, I need to put y'all something up. Honestly, you know what? I guess I'll give y'all the unfinished stuff that I'm not going to be able to post anywhere else. Because, yeah. Did we did get to make a video while we were quarantined at the river. So I'll put that. I'll put it over on the one place that I'm not going to mention right now, and all you guys can watch it. Where the heck is Chipper at? He must have been asleep before I came live. Anyway, God bless y'all. Y'all still alive? Do not die. Don't step on the snake. There won't be no snake. Okay. I'm coming out with another shirt. If Courtney's still in here. Did y'all ever make me my store yet? But it's going to have a snake and the step on me stuff, but different. I worded it. I made my own shirt. It's cool. So y'all order from the store, but it'll go straight to Sudoku. Sudoku will make the shirt. They'll send it to you. Just something we were playing around because we were bored, and I think it's super cool. So anyway, I'm really thinking about this stuff. I love all you people. Stay alive. Do not die. Love one another. Help your neighbor out. Okay. We really are in this together. You know, even if his dog does crap on your yard, your cat sneaks over and shits in his bushes. Right?